Hey everybody, really quick, I've had some questions regarding some formal estimates and formal contracts, and I just want to throw together a little video here to show you guys what I do. And remember, I'm not the best at this. This just works for me, and I'm always open to suggestions. So if you guys got something cool, throw them down in the comments or reach out to me privately. But this is what my proposals look like. So this project, here, let me turn the camera around. All right, so this project, this is a generic one. I stripped it out of most of all the sensitive information. I call these my proposals because they're not a contract. They're not really a hardcore estimate. I like my proposals to be conversation pieces. So this is a quick one. I got rid of my logo. My logo is kind of lame. You guys don't need to see that. And these are kind of blank spots where you can put your information, customer's information, and then down here in the description. I just put down basically what we're doing. I put it down in as much detail so the customer kind of knows what I'm planning to do, but also a little bit vague. So if the details need to be adjusted, it's not too permanent, I guess you could say. Then I also do my exclusions, what does not include in there. That's really important. Putting down your description is really important, but putting down what you're not gonna do is just as important. So I don't have any dry rot or mold set aside in this estimate. And any asbestos or hazardous materials, I'm not handling any of that. If I find any, I will let the customer know the moment I find it. So that's right here. If suspected, they will be the results of that will be brought to the customer's immediate attention. Engineering, permits, and inspections are not included and will not be needed. I'm not doing any structural, I'm not doing any electrical, I'm not doing any plumbing. I'm just moving a small interior wall around a little bit, and then we're re-drywalling. We're gonna insulate it for sound barrier, and then we're gonna re-drywall it. Now, my customer is a journeyman electrician. So he is going to be doing some electrical work in there. And I said all electrical work, so right here, all electrical work will be done by the customer. And they are responsible for their permits. That's a big one. All right, so here's a couple final details. All material, labor, dump fees, licensing, insurance, and bond are included and are the responsibility of the contractor. That's me, Linear Construction, and are included in this price. Change orders will be verified in email, and the price will be agreed upon before the extra work is started. So that's where if the customer changes something, adds something, I want to make sure that they understand that there's a pathway to move forward. Guys, this is to protect the customer as much as it is to protect me. It keeps me on track and making sure I'm doing the right thing. Also, the customer and contractor must respond in a timely manner to avoid job site delays and schedules. Linear Construction, time and material work will be billed out. So if we do any extra work over and beyond this project, we will be billing out at $65 an hour, and the material is a $25 upcharge. So our total work is $9,300. Now here's some special comment. Price is this price, but if you separate this project and only have me do the framing and the drywall and not the painting, not the insulation, then the price of the drywall and paint might go up. All right. This price is valid for 45 days. 50% of this 50% of the contract is due once they schedule the work. So once we are about 2 or 3 weeks from doing it and we have a hard schedule, they pay me half of $9,300. Now, for bigger jobs, this is just some generic wording. Draws off the balance may be required, but they will not total more than 80% of the project and must be in line with the value of the stage of the project. So basically what I'm saying right here, guys, is I can ask for a draw, but I cannot ask for a draw for, 60% more than what I can't get ahead of myself on the draw versus where we're at. This keeps the customer in control. You've got to give your customers control of their money, and that's how you guys build the trust. The balance of payment is due upon completion of the project. If you have any questions on this estimate, contact, and then I put that for you guys. I have a couple of places right here for customers to sign and for me to sign. I don't always print that off and give it to them. Oftentimes, again, this is a conversation piece that I give the customer. All right, hold on. Let me show you guys a little bit of a breakdown I have for this one. All right, this is just an Excel spreadsheet. I'm not an Excel mastermind or anything like that, but it does kind of help me keep some of my projects online. So I have no money for budget, or I have no money for permits or fees. I've got about $2,000 in demo and cleanup and dumping. I've got a few $100s here for site prep. Rough electrical, that's not me, so I left that one empty. And then I've got time and material for drywall, time and material for paint, labor to install flooring, time and material for interior trim work, hardware, so doing doors, latches, any kind of custom hardware, electrical finish, again, not my job, project wrap-up and miscellaneous. These are kind of the project wrap-up, cleanup, and incidentals. These are kind of my whatever, my miscellaneous prices right there, and that's where we come down $9,500. So on this particular one here, let me find a different one for you. Here's another one that I did not too long ago. This is a little bit more of a raw, I mean, all the different categories you can put down in this spreadsheet, and then it even gets a little bit busier. I don't use this spreadsheet to its fullest capability. I'm just not that good with Excel, so I don't dig super deep into it. I am working with a person that I would consider highly efficient at Excel, and we are expanding this to be for me to help track some of my costs and projects like that. But right now, I keep this spreadsheet down to a pretty simple, just 2 lines, percentages of the project. I can get in here and we can reword some of these. So instead of floor decking, we can just, edit that and just put, flooring. You can just change it any way you want. There are a bunch of different options to help you keep the math right on this. It's nice to have them with more categories when you're doing your estimating and project cost breakdowns. The more categories you have, the less likely you or like myself will forget an area that we need to take in consideration when we're putting this all together. So that's kind of, I've shown videos on how I do some low tech where I just write down on pencil and paper. I think you guys remember the notepad. That's where I take all my notes down. Then there's this option. There is, you can buy $10,000 estimating programs, guys, or you can just kind of keep it cheap and affordable and use what works for you. And I just highly suggest just don't cut yourself short. Keep your profit margins as high as you can. Make sure you're understanding the market you're in. Not every market is going to be able to support more than 1 or 2 contractors that do $60,000 bathroom remodels. So if you're not that good, maybe you just don't get to charge that much, and maybe you get to be the guy in town that is the super value guy. If you're really good and your town doesn't support it, your market doesn't support it, then you might want to think about relocating a little bit more of a larger community, a bigger city, more high-end white-collar workers that really like their fancy Bluetooth shower controls. So again, figure yourself out, and then just get out there and start bidding. Be honest with your customers. You might be able to cheat somebody out of some money, but you'll never make it in the long run. So just do your best to be honorable, and go out there and win some jobs and do some good projects. All right, guys, hope that helps anybody that's out there. I'm open to suggestions. There's a lot of people out there that are way better at this stuff than I am. Maybe you just don't want to put your stuff out there on the internet. Throw me a comment. Give me some tips. Again, not the best one at this. This is just what works for me. All right, talk to you later.